guys, welcome back to my Global Goddess channel. If you don't know, I'm Tasha, and today we are gonna dive right into it. I am going to answer the I get asked a lot of questions all the time, and it's pretty redundant. It's the same things over and over again. So I have written down 25 questions. I didn't want this video to be like too long. I'm sure it could be like an hour long if I, actually went over everything that everyone asked me all the time. So like I said, top 25. Or at least these are 25 questions that I feel like are kind of important, that I do get asked often. If you see me keep looking down, that's because I'm looking at the paper. So this is my disclaimer. Nothing with my job is easy to explain at all. That's number one, first and foremost. Let's get that out of the way. So if you ask me a question, it's never just like a simple yes or no answer. It's always yes, but no, but yes. It could go on forever and ever and ever. Okay, so when I do answer these questions, they are also based off of my company that I work for. So this is my personal experience. However, like I told you last video, I will never say what company I work for. However, I'm sure it's not that hard to figure it out. So without further ado, this is my FAQ Chronicles. Bum, bum, bum. How long have you been a flight attendant? I have worked for my company for 5 years now, and it has gone by, well, I'm in my 5th year, so I just had my, I guess you could say 4-year anniversary, I don't know, a few months ago. It goes by super duper duper quick, like super quick. It's disgusting how like fast my job makes life go by, because you're always looking for the next month. You're always looking to see what trip you're doing next, where you're going, what new places is your company going to start flying to. What inspired you to become a flight attendant? So let's see, my inspiration. I never thought about being a flight attendant ever. I actually went to school for criminal justice. My degree is in criminal justice. I was a police officer, actually, believe it or not, before I got this job. However, of course, I didn't go to work looking like this. It was like manly, all the time, no nails, makeup, nothing. Okay, so one night I went out with a bunch of people from my police academy class. It was somebody's birthday, and as I was driving home, I actually fell asleep driving, and I got into a really bad car accident. I thank God every day, like I didn't kill myself or I didn't kill anybody else. I could have gotten hurt a lot worse than what I did. And I wasn't drinking and driving. Like I said, I was just tired. As I was getting better, one of my girlfriends, she actually works at the Philly airport, and she was like, oh, Tasha, there's a bunch of things you can do at the airport, like airlines are hiring, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. She's like, why don't you apply to be a flight attendant? You have that personality. So I was like, never thought about it before, ever. I was like, what the heck, might as well try it. Had my interview, they hired me right then and there, bam, and here I am 5 years later. So this was never in my game plan of life. Like once I got to training, people were like, yes, this is my lifelong goal. And I was like, yeah, I was a police officer. Anyway, so that is how I got here. I feel like everything definitely happens for a reason. What is flight attendant training like? So for my company, they sent us to Houston for, when I got hired, it was 5 weeks. Now I heard it's 6 weeks. It's very intense, actually. I would always joke and be like, yeah, I made it through police academy, and that was a piece of cake, because you're just getting yelled at all day and you run. Like, I can handle that with no problem. But I traveled before I got this job. However, I didn't know the specifics. Like, I didn't know what a galley was. Like, I didn't know that everything that flight attendants do, like it comes down to the door. Like the door of the aircraft is the most important thing. So in flight attendant training, it's like, you had tests pretty much like every other day. At one point in time, it might have been like a test a day. It was very, very fast paced. You wake up early. You cannot be late. if you didn't get at least, I think it was a 80 or 85 at my company. I don't really remember. If you didn't get at least like say an 85 on your test, you would have to retake the test. But for the whole time you were in training, you only got one retake. So say if I got, you know, a 78 or whatever on one test, and then I did my retake, okay? And then the next test, you know, I get, I don't know, yeah, another 78. It's like, oh, okay, well, bye, Tasha. I'm sorry, but we have to send you home because you already used your one retake. When I was there too, we didn't get paid. We got like a little stipend check a day that was supposed to help with God knows what. It was $20 a day. So at the end of the month, at the end of the week, they gave you this $140 check. And if you're anything like me, I was 25 when I went through flight attendant. 24? I think I was 24. I think I just might have turned 25. I don't know. Anyway. So I had like real life bills. I mean, I had a car payment, I have student loans. You know, I'm an adult, like you have payments. So I think that was another reason why it was stressful, because it's like, okay, yeah, I have money saved, but I'm not having a steady flow of income, you know, come in every week whenever you get paid, you know. So that was also another level of added stress. But now I'm pretty sure with flight attendant training, like I said, it's 6 weeks now, and I believe they still get that stipend, I'm pretty sure, but then they also get like a free $1,000 paycheck, I wanna say, once training is all done. So I mean, for people, that definitely helps. It helps, I mean, any little bit helps when you're not getting a paycheck. So training, it was intense. What is your schedule like? So this is where it can get a little bit tricky. Like I said, nothing's easy to explain. I kind of like wrote down a couple notes. So when you are a flight attendant, you are either, well, this is like I said, just for my company, you're either on reserve, which is on call, or you have a line, you're a line holder, which is a set schedule. So sometimes I'll use those interchangeably, or instead of saying reserve, I'll just say on call. I mean, for somebody who's not a flight attendant, like it's just easier sometimes to say on call. At my job too, you're also on call until there's enough people underneath of you. Like, let me see. It's all about checks and balances more so. You're on call until there's enough people underneath of you to bump you up to have a line, but then there also has to be enough lines or schedules for the month to allow you to have a line. And then it depends on too how many people are senior to you. Like if the senior people never retire, you know, you kind of stay stagnant. Even if people underneath of you, like even if your company's still hiring, like I said, if your company's still hiring, you know, but there's not enough schedules and enough senior people don't retire, or they're not flying them up, just a whole bunch, like you could be on reserve for a really long time. And being on reserve really isn't fun. I know when I was on reserve, I got fortunate. I'm from New Jersey and I was based in New Jersey as well. So even though it was a bit of a drive from where my mom lived at the time, I was fortunate to keep my second job. A lot of people that are flight attendants just starting out, even if you're not just starting out, I mean, when you're on reserve, you also have off like at least 12 to 15 days a month. So essentially you're off half the month. So it is, I stress this. I'm like, if you can find a second stream of income, just like some type of residual income, anything, if you want to do Uber, if you bartend on the side, if you substitute teach, that's what I did. Also in flight attendant training, I will stress this because the fact that you cannot be late. Like you cannot be late. If they say be downstairs and the bus is leaving at 7:30, that does not mean be like in the elevator at 7:30. That means the bus is pulling out without you at 7:30. And it's like, you know, you can try to say, oh, hey, like, wait, my roommate isn't down here yet. Or, you know, okay, I know my girlfriend, she's not here. Like, she just texted me and she said, like, she's coming out the front door. No, the bus driver will leave that sass, okay? The bus drivers have been instructed by the company, if everybody is not on board at this time, to leave, because the company feels like if you cannot prove yourself and be on time in training, then you can't be on time when we need you to be here, when this plane needs to leave. It says, how do you become a flight attendant? So at my company, like I said, company specific, you have to apply online and then you do a video interview. It's almost like you're FaceTiming. You're not FaceTiming a real person. It's like an app with preloaded questions. And yes, once again, your appearance matters. They want to make sure, I guess, you have like the look per se, and to make sure you dress professionally. I don't know what happened to people. Like, I don't know. I feel like common sense. If you're going for a job interview, if you're a woman, if you're a woman, like, why would you not want to wear, you know, a nice blouse, a jacket, a blazer, a suit, you know, professional. Like, if you don't know what professional dress means, please Google. I don't know why I feel like I need to like say this right now, but guys, like, you're going to a job interview. This job is going to be a career for your future. Why would you not wear a suit? Like, I've heard from other flight attendants who they see people coming into the terminal for interviews, and one girl had on like sweatpants, another girl, I don't even remember what she had, like hot pink hair or something, pajama pants, and it's like, they said they just wanted to pull them aside and be like, sis, you know where you are, right? Like, you got dressed this. I don't understand. Like I said, I don't know why this needs to be said, but you do your, getting off on a tangent here. How do you become a flight attendant? You do your video interview, that's number one. And if they like you, they will invite you to actually first you submit your application. And if you pass that part, then you do your video interview. Then from there, they will invite you to do a face-to-face interview where, you know, you sit with another flight attendant or somebody from HR. You do that. And then when I was hired, they hired you right then and there. You went to do your vision and your hearing and your drug test. Yes, you do have to pass a drug and alcohol test. You have to pass all those, and you have to pass a 10-year background check. It is a in-house background check by your company specifically, as well as a background check. I believe it's done by the FBI. Well, yes, it is done by the FBI, because they email you and then they want literally everything about everything with everything pertaining to your life. Actually, a lot of people get sent home in the background check. In my training class, one girl was about to graduate, and like 2 days before, something came up in her background. Do not lie. They will find you. They will find you. Don't lie, like, they're gonna find out. Like I said, it's the FBI. One girl, she got sent home 2 days before we were about to graduate, I think. It was definitely that week that we were about to graduate. She got sent home like halfway through the week. What is your salary like? Well, this job is not technically salary based. So being on reserve, you get paid for 78 hours, regardless if you fly that much or not. You have at least 12 to 13 days off, I want to say, a month. And now with our new contract, if you pick up trips on your off days, those hours go on top of your guarantee. We have a flight time salary, and we also have, not salary, but a flight time pay rate, and we also have a per diem pay rate. So per diem is your time away from base. So from the time that you check in until the time that your trip ends, you constantly get paid. I think at my job it's $250 an hour. But like I said, that keeps rolling and rolling and rolling for the whole time you're gone for your trip. So say if something happens, your flight cancels, you're far, far, far away from home, or like there's a really bad snowstorm. When I first started, there was a really bad snowstorm in Newark. Like that's where I'm based. There's a bad snowstorm. I was stuck in Orlando for, I don't know, say my 4-day trip turned into like an 8-day trip. So the whole time I was gone, I was getting, you know, flight time pay, because we get, see, now it's gonna, I'm like, see, nothing's easy to explain once again. We get paid if you don't fly at least 5 hours per day with your trip, you get paid for 5 flight hours. Like, it's contractual, whatever. So I got paid for, say, my 20 hours for my 4-day trip, and then every day extra that I was stuck in Orlando, my company had to pay me 5 extra hours of flight time pay. So I was getting, say, 20 extra hours on top of my 20 hours that I already flew. And my per diem was rolling for the whole 8 days. So my per diem for that trip was, you know, crazy. Oh, and your per diem money does not get taxed. So that's how your trips, or how your checks, I'm sorry, really become big because of that untaxed money. So the longer trips that you work, the more per diem that you'll get. So when you have a line, you can work as little as you want, or you can work as much as you want, as long as you are within your work rules or your legalities for like your trips and your time off and all that. So when you do have a line, obviously you're going to make a lot more money if you choose to go to work. I will say that, that's my disclaimer, because I know quite a few people that have lines and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to work like one little trip a week just to keep my health benefits, and that's it. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, okay, I like my money, so I need to work. So it is an hourly rate. However, I do know, like, the senior flight attendants, they make a lot of money, like a whole lot of money, and people make well over $100,000, you know. They get paid double what I get paid right now. So it's like a trip that's worth, you know, $1,500 for me is worth $3,000 for you. The most that I've ever heard of a flight attendant bringing home, like take home, this is after taxes, a month, was like, I want to say 15 grand or so. So yes, this video is going to be, I'm like looking down, a huge spider just repelled and jumped on the glass outside my window. If I could show you guys, I'll try to get a picture, but like it completely caught me off guard. I was like, oh, there. So I'm gonna make this a 2-part video. That way I do not bore you guys with all of these questions. I know it's getting to be a bit extra, and I don't want this video to be an hour long, even after I edit it down, because Lord knows I can talk. So I hope you enjoyed this first half of the question and answer. I will be back shortly to do a part 2. All right, bye guys.